My name is Shanice Lakebadian, and this is my lab 3, and I am going to be, this is the database we're going to use to take it from a ER diagram to a relational schema. So this is what we're going to be using to do that. So what I want to do first is go over here and we're going to get some tables and start setting up tables. So first, for me, I'm just going to get 2 tables and start setting them up. We're going to kind of follow this right here, okay? So then I want to get another table. And we're going to put that one like maybe down there. We're going to, I don't think they're that far apart, but maybe a little bit closer. Maybe right there. And we'll bring this one up just a little. So when we go back to the database, we see that the first one is going to be, by the way, if I didn't say, some of the regions on here, if you look at them, some of the entities are region, store, product, vendor. Those are entities. And some of the attributes, for example, will be like store zip, vendor name, category name. Those are some of the attributes. And so we're going to start right here with store first, putting that to the table. So we are going to name this one, it's going to be store, and we're going to put the name of the table, the entity, in big bold letters. And then under here, the PK stands for primary key. So our primary key will be store ID. So we are going to put that one first, and we don't have to put that one all in capital letters. So that one's going to be store ID. Then we look back over here. Our next one is going to be store zip. So we are going to put store zip here. And then that one is done for now. And then when we go look back, our next one is going to be region. So again, in capital letters, we are going to put region. And then our primary key, if we don't have to go back, but if we do, it's going to be region ID. It's going to be the primary key. So that one's going to go here as the region ID. And then also we're going to add region name. And then that's going to be that for that one. So then when we go back over here, what do we have next? We have product and sales transactions. So we are going to add 2 more tables. We're going to put one like probably right here. And then we are going to add another one. We'll say like right there. So this first one up here is going to be product. So in capital letters, we are going to write product. The next one is the primary key is product. It is going to be product ID. So that is going to be the primary key. It is going to be product ID. And then moving down, we have product price. And we have product name. So that's going to be it for that table for right now. We got all 3 of them. The next table is going to be sales transactions. So we are going to go back over here in capital letters. And we're going to put sales transactions for this one. Let's make sure that's right though. We're going to put sales transaction. Okay, we're trying to make sure we spell this right. All right. And so the attributes for that is going to be, the primary key is going to be TID. So that does not have to be in capital letters. That one will be TID. TID for that primary key, and then the next one will be TDate. So that one's that for that one, and then we move over here, we see we have vendor, category, and customer left. So we're going to take 3 more tables. We'll put one maybe right there. Then we'll kind of fix those two while we're at it. So we will add 3 tables, and we'll put one right there, and then we'll add another one right here. And then when we go back to right there, and then we go back to the database, we see over here first we have vendor as the entity. So we will put vendor in capital letters, and then the primary key for that entity will be vendor ID. So we will add vendor ID. And then over here also we have vendor name. So we will add vendor name. And then that is that for that one. Then our next table, that one will be category. The entity is category. And then the primary key for that one is category ID. All right, we want to make sure we put these in capital letters. Category. And then the primary key you'll have to do that one over. All right, we have to do this one over. It gets a little tricky sometimes, guys. So, like we were saying, this one is going to be category. All right. And then the primary key is going to be category. Let me slow down. It's going to be category ID. And then also under this one, we also have category name. So we're going to add category name. Going to add category name. And that's that for that one. But we're trying to make sure these tables are like even when we have to like connect them, so we won't have any issues. So try to make sure they're as even as possible. And then for our last one, it's going to be customer. So in capital letters, this is going to be customer. And then, of course, for the customer, the primary ID is going to be customer ID. So we are going to put that one. And then in that row, we have customer name and customer zip. So we're going to add customer name and then customer zip. So we are done with that part, you guys. So next we have to kind of connect these, right? So when we go back to the database, we see we'll start in the middle with product. And when we look at it, we can see that looking at from product to sales transaction, there is a many relationship. So with the many relationship, in order to connect those, you have to have something that's going to connect those. And when we look here, we see that includes can connect them. So we are going to make another table, okay? And we're going to put that table in the middle. You're going to put this table right here in the middle. Try to make it as even as you can. I know it's hard sometimes. And this table right here, we are going to call this table includes. And then this is how you're going to connect these, right? So when you look back at these, you see that product and you see sales transaction. And because it's a mini relationship, you have two different ones that are on the by the M symbol, because usually you go by the one that's by the M symbol. So when we look at this, we have product that's by the M symbol, but we also have sales transaction that is by the M symbol. So what we do here, we are going to add product, which is the primary key. We are going to add product ID in there. Let's make sure it's right. We are going to add product ID. But it's a foreign key, right? And because it's a foreign key, we have to add FK behind it, right? And then so we come down and then we look at sales transaction, which is also next by the M symbol. So the primary key for the sales transaction is TID. So here we will input TID in there. But also, when we go back and we look at includes, it has its own attribute, which is quantity. So we're also going to add quantity, right? So we'll just, maybe, can we write it? We're trying to fix this, right? That's what happens when you're dealing with these little things sometimes. Okay. So right here, it has its own little, so we're going to add quantity in there, right? We are going to add quantity in there. So that's that for these two. So these are done and we can now connect them. So we are now going to connect these two, right? I think we need to move this down more because we don't want any problems when we try to connect these, right? So that's going to be connected to that. And then we're trying to connect that. So these two are connected. These two here. Let's see if I can draw it the other way. I don't think it will let me. So we're just going to have to keep it this way. I was trying to draw maybe trying to draw it this way, you guys. Nope, we'll just keep it the other way, but you guys know what I mean. I wanted to draw it going the other way. So then when we look back over here next, we'll do the product to vendor. And when we look at product to vendor has a more of a one-to-many relationship. So when we look at that, we have to look at the one that is closer to the M symbol, the mini symbol, which is product. So when we go back to product, we are going to add the vendor ID in there. And then we're going to put FK because it's a foreign key, right? So then we can now connect these two together. Now those two are connected, right? So then we go back over here and we look down. Let's see, maybe try to connect product to category next. And we look at that, this one is another one, is a one-to-many relationship. So when you look at the one-to-many relationship, once again, you find the one that is closer to the mini symbol, and that is going to be product. So we are going to add category ID into product to connect those. Let's see, we might have to add a text. We're going to add that in here this time because I don't want to mess nothing up, you guys. So we are going to add the category ID, and this one, and that's what that's going to do is connect the product to category. So now we can, but I think, let's see, we are going to attempt to make that to that. So now when you look at it, these two are now connected. So then when we go down here at customer, when you look at customer, you have another one-to-many relationship, right? So looking at that, you have another one-to-many relationship. So you look at it again, you have the sales transaction, which is closer to the M. So what you're going to do is take the store, no, not the store. You're going to take the customer ID, and you are going to add the customer ID here. That's going to connect those two. So what you can do now, we can connect these two. Now they're going to be connected, right? So now those two are going to be connected. And then we go over here and we have another one-to-many relationship from sales transactions to store. It's another one-to-many relationship. So what we're going to do, we're going to look once again. You have the sales transaction, which is closest to the end. It's closest to the mini. So what you're going to do, you are going to take the store ID, and you're going to put it in there. And then you're going to put the FK for foreign, which we need to do also here. We have to add the FK for the foreign. Let's make sure I did it in all of them. We did the FK, and then right here too, guys. We have to also go and add the FK because it's a foreign key, right? So now these two can be connected. These two right here can now be connected. All right, now store and sales transaction are now connected. And then we go over here, we look at the last one, which is store and region. So when we look at those two, we have we have another one-to-many relationship, and looking at it, store is the closest to the mini. So we will take the region ID, and we will add that in store, parentheses, FK for foreign key. And now, these two are connected. And then we want to go and just kind of, you know, clean up all this stuff that doesn't belong, right? Oh no, we erased that one. All right, we're gonna have to go fix this one back, guys, because we made mistake and erase that one. And that was the category. All right, we were trying to erase these rows here. All right, and that is it. So we have officially turned this into a relational schema, and we are complete.